are live.
Where are we at today?
We are at San Jose State campus again, interviewing people here about their futures, their goals, what they're currently doing to try to get to where they want to be. It's a beautiful, lovely day outside, 70 degrees with a beautiful
Light breeze.
A light breeze, exactly. I'm looking forward to hearing what people want to do with their futures. What about you, man?
Side note, if you make indie pop, we came up with a good band name for you, 70 Degrees.
100%.
You'll make it. I'm feeling really good today. I'm just feeling incredibly relaxed. Just ready to make some people feel weird and just be like, hey, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
How can we help you get there?
You know, I'm interested
What does that look
to see how many people are ambitious, because honestly, I think that most people I talk to, they're not super ambitious. They kind of have, sometimes their goals are a little bit out there, but usually they're pretty conservative with what they're trying to hit. And so I'm curious to see how many people we talk to are the same way, or whether we run into people who are like us, who are much more ambitious with what they're trying to do in life.
Same. I'm trying to see what's going on. All right, we're gonna cut it and we'll get to the first people. Let's go.
I'll probably go on a 4-day bender and do all the cocaine I could before my heart exploded in my chest.
I was thinking about other majors, stuff like that, but for right now, mechanical engineering is pretty interesting.
Yeah, hell yeah. Do you like working on cars?
Cars,
You're like, fuck no.
not really, honestly. Like, I got friends who are like really into cars and shit, but for me, it's like I did mechanical engineering because it was a safe bet.
Right.
But like, there's other things that interest me, like kinesiology and like sports and stuff like that. So I don't know about major wise. Yeah.
Dope. Yeah, I'll just hit you with a couple questions and you can let me know what you think. Let me know when it's rolling. Let's go. We got the preview before the interview. What's your name, brother?
My name is Max McClellan.
Nice. And what's your major right now?
Mechanical engineering.
Awesome. And so our first question today is just, what do you want to do? And this is a big question, so you can think about it. But what do you want your life to look like maybe by the time you're 40? And what does that look like to you in just like different aspects?
God, so by the time I'm 40,
if you're going to make it there.
yeah, if I make it to 40, hopefully I'll have a family, maybe a kid or two. Hopefully I am already successful. I got a good job with like a good pension. Don't really got to worry about retirement, shit like that. I've been living in California my whole life, so maybe living somewhere else might be cool. Traveling when I'm young, shit like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Hey, you're gonna have to put me onto the password on live. What is it?
Oh, yeah, it's a live.
No, it's.
Just keep tapping it so it's that.
Awesome. And then, so what do you feel like you're doing right now besides just being in college to make that possible?
I think growing connections is a big thing in college.
Boom.
Yeah, I'm just trying to meet as many people as possible, trying to build connections with people, especially, like professors, like employers, just random people that I meet, because you never know, like in the future when you have friends who could help you out, help you land a job, or if you have questions, stuff like that. And I'm trying to stay focused on school and at the same time enjoy myself, because if I get distracted and start to lose my way, it's going to be hard for me to stay motivated and stuff like that. So I got to make sure that I'm doing stuff for myself as well.
Yeah, no, that kind of brings me like to our third question, which is like, what do you think the balance between like enjoying your life right now and working towards your future is, and like where do you find yourself in that balance?
That's a good question. Where do I find myself in that balance? It's like I think I'm starting to get a hang of it, figuring out like what I'm like here to do, like why I'm at college, and what kind of balance I'm looking for. Like I I found myself, trying to envelop myself in the community. It's like my first time in San Jose. I'm like joining clubs, meeting new people, trying out different classes, stuff like that, trying to figure out what I like. As far as balance goes, like between myself and my academics and everything else, it's a struggle sometimes, right? To like find all the hours in the day to like do everything you got to do, or just like try to find the time to do stuff for yourself, or just like try to figure out what you're supposed to do when you're bored as hell, right? Sometimes it's good to be bored. Sometimes you want to be doing something more, but I feel like once you figure out that balance for yourself, like internally, and you're okay with it, then you could pretty much be doing anything that you want to be doing. As long as you're happy with it and you found a purpose, right?
Hell yeah. No, I would agree entirely. And then like for people who may not be like in the position that you are or I am or some other people are, what do you think other people can do to find motivation, and what helps keep you motivated?
Well, I mean, first off, like I struggle with motivation all the time.
Yeah.
There's certain things that distract me that sometimes I don't even realize that they're distracting, and it takes me a long time to figure out like why I'm motivated or like why I'm not motivated. But I think the main thing with motivation is just trying to figure out something that you feel good about, right? Like for me, it's like I'm in mechanical engineering, but I don't know if I'm motivated, and I don't know if I like it yet, which is why I'm trying to stay open-minded, and I'm like trying all these different classes, and like trying to figure out what I enjoy and like what makes me motivated. Like I love playing baseball. I love hanging out with friends, going out. So like if that kind of stuff motivates me, then that's the kind of stuff that I want to do. Yeah.
Nice. No, I appreciate it. Do you post skate videos up on Instagram?
No, honestly.
Not yet. You're not pro.
My skating skills could use some work, but I can ollie.
Let's go.
I can ollie, and
hey, that's a start. You're better than this kid.
I could ollie, and I skate around San Jose. It's a pretty flat city, so skateboard's perfect for that.
Nice.
But yeah. I mean, I like to do a lot of things like skating. I'm a drummer. I play baseball.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just try to find different things that I enjoy, and when I find that's something, I'll stick with it. To however much it makes me happy.
Yeah.
So.
Keep searching, and best of
exactly.
luck. Thank you.
Hey, Lee, right?
Liam. I appreciate it.
You, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
All right, we're live?
Yeah.
All right, we're here with, what's your name, man?
Joshua.
Joshua. Awesome, dude. So our first question is, what do you want your life to look like when you're 40?
Jeez, man, I hope I'm a communication marketing director in technology, and I'm married, and and to my girlfriend, who will be my wife then, and we have kids, and I have a nice car, and we have a house, and I'm able to give my kids the life that I have and the things I have. So yeah, pretty much that's what I hope. So, and I'm good, and I work out still, and I keep doing what I do now. So yeah.
Those are some solid goals, dude. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. What are you doing right now to try to make that possible?
Well, for starters, like I'm enjoying the process of it. I'm hanging with my friends. I'm involved in campus clubs, and I'm enjoying my the campus life at San Jose State is I'm enjoying, because this is my second semester on campus, because the last two coming from community college was online. So I'm enjoying it, because like it's a journey. So, and I always tell myself positive affirmations when I wake up and I look in the mirror. One of them is I tell myself, slow down, life is a journey, not a destination. And the other thing I do is, and besides hanging out with the positive friends that encourage me and tell me what I need to hear, not what I want to hear, besides that and taking care of myself, I think that writing down my goals every night. I write my goals down, what I need in my life, and I read it in the morning before I go outside, and then when I read it before I go to sleep. And I think doing that as well, and keeping positive thoughts playing those little movies of driving in the amazing car and getting married and so forth, like that sort of. And also, like, lastly, I think just giving thanks to God, like thank you God for helping me overcome whatever I had to overcome to be here, and being humble and gratitude. And yeah.
Dude, that is awesome, man. That is awesome. You hit all the right points on the head, man. You're doing great. I can already tell you're going to be very successful if you keep that same attitude and those same habits.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. That's great. So, how much of your life would you say you spend just kind of enjoying the present versus working towards the future? Like, how do you find that right balance in your own life?
I think it comes from just experience, because when I was in community college, I switched my major. I had to stay in community college a little longer, but it's like, it's worth it. But I think that's, as I look back, there were times like I was just like, I wanted to get out of here and come to San Jose State and just graduate ASAP. I wanted to make, my mindset was all wrong. Like, ASAP, I don't care. I want to graduate ASAP. I don't make tons of money. Like, that was, my mindset was all wrong. But when I finally, graduated and I got out of community college, because I've had the right friends around me to tell me, dude, take your time, don't rush. It's not about, because when you go to San Jose State, you got to be able to do the work, because it's not like community college. So I think from experience now, I'm at this point where I realize, you know what, like I'm enjoying where I'm at. And it's good that I'm here where I'm at, and I didn't come here when I wanted to, because then I would have ruined it. So I think just from experience, you realize when you learn to just stop, freeze, take your time, slow, to go at your own pace, do the right stuff, and then when you finally get to where you need to be, you're content. You're like, oh, I get it now, I see it. It's good that all these things line up. So then you realize, you know what, I'm happy where I'm at. I know where I'm going, but I'm happy where I'm at. It's like, as an actor, you're performing in the now, but your line's coming up, but you're performing in the now. So I think, yeah.
That's a great allegory or metaphor that you gave there for that. I think that's really cool. So our last question for you is, what would you say motivates you? And for people who struggle finding that motivation to pursue their goals, what would you recommend they do, or what advice would you give to them?
I think that's a good question. I think you need to, for me, what motivated me just to get to this point, because I'm about to graduate, I'm a Dean Scholar, I minored in theater arts. I could have easily just finished up my communication degree last semester and I wouldn't be here talking to you, but I chose to minor in theater and not just leave with the communication degree but I wanted to also minor in theater, and I did a lot. And I think one thing I want to say is what motivated me to do everything I've done just to get to the point is, I asked myself, what's the consequence if I don't do this? What do I want? What do you want? At the same time, what are the consequences if you don't do this? Like, after our conversation, I gotta go to the library, I gotta do homework. I could easily go watch a soccer game right now. Champions League is today, but it's like, but I told myself, what is the consequences if I don't do this? Just like how when I was in community college, I asked myself, what are the consequences if I don't, now that I switched my major, what are the consequences if I don't transfer out of here? Take my time, yes, but be on top of the work and pass everything, nail everything on the first attempt. So what are the, you gotta, at least if you don't have the motivation you have to have a strong why. It can be, obviously what you want, but at the same time, it can also be a fear, like what's gonna happen if I don't have this? And it's like, okay, I won't achieve my goal. I won't, I'll be stuck in here for community college even longer. So you have to have a good enough reason to you have a good enough why, and you'll be successful, I guess. Find your why. So
100%, man. I like that. Yeah, you got to find your purpose. It's also good to have like a little hell that you can run away from.
Yeah.
So something to strive for and something to avoid. You got to be aware of the consequences of your actions and your habits, and that puts everything into a good context that allows you to be motivated to pursue something.
Yeah.
That's great, man. You gave some great answers. Thank you. Appreciate you being on this with us.
Appreciate
All right, we are here with
Liz.
Nice to meet you, Liz.
Likewise.
So we'll just hop right into it. What do you want your life to look like when you're 40?
I hope I'm making a lot of money.
Yeah.
I want someone to give it to me, because honestly, I'm not going to make that much money with my career. But yeah.
What's your major?
It's radio, TV, and film, so basically film major.
Oh, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool. You're going to be a star. So what would you say you're doing right now to make that possible? If you were to make a lot of money, what would you do in radio and TV?
Well, I want to be a sound mixer, so I want to be working with sound and hopefully working in like a corporate company like Lucasfilm or Pixar and work with the sound effects or ADR. Yeah.
Okay, that's really cool. And what are you doing right now to try to get into Lucasfilms or to pursue that type of career?
I'm currently in this film program with my friends that are right there, and I'm an officer, so I'm trying to get some networking. And also with my professors, I try to build a close relationship in order to have like some future projects with them in the future.
All right, that is solid. How much of your life would you say that you kind of spend just enjoying the present, hanging out with friends or whatever, versus working towards your future goals?
Right now, I'm like really focusing on my career just because I'm planning on graduating next year. So like that's just my main priority, and my social life is kind of a mess right now since I don't really have the time to spend time with my friends. So unfortunately, that's just kind of how it works in this industry. You really have to dedicate so much time to your career in order to go somewhere.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I don't have any friends either. Overall, what would you say motivates you, and how do you think other people can get the motivation that they need to pursue their goals?
What motivates me is that my family are immigrants. So like my parents are immigrants and they immigrated here. So I kind of have to really be successful or otherwise I would be disappointing them. And my family is depending on me to provide them financially, so I can't disappoint them. Yeah.
That is awesome. And what would you say other people should do if they want that extra motivation to pursue their own goals?
I say you gotta like find it somehow, like whether it's money, whether it's family, like you gotta somehow find it, because if you just like sit there all day, you're not going anywhere. No one's gonna pick you up and tell you, hey, you gotta do this.
Is there anything you think somebody should specifically do to find that motivation?
Probably consult with someone that you trust and that you need some advice, even though when you're like at your lowest, consult with someone.
Awesome. Those are great answers. Thank you for talking with us.
Yeah, thank you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
I honestly don't want to get to 40 because life sucks, so I don't want to get to 40, to be honest.
I can understand that.
We're back in the lab.
With the birds.
Yeah, with the birds. How'd you feel about it?
I felt great, dude. I felt like really good out there today. I think I was just feeling good the whole time.
Me too. I think I felt good too. I feel like it was like, I didn't realize, like we were talking about this, and like one thing that I feel like both of us like didn't realize before is like most people between the age of 18 and like their late 20s, their biggest stressor in life and like their quarter life crisis, if you will,
Or the questions that we're asking them
are
today.
literally like, what do you want your life to be like?
And what are you doing to get there?
Yeah, like that's what most people are stressed about, and I think like a lot of people, can relate to that.
Yeah.
And so people are already like pretty held back when it comes to getting on camera, but then when we're like, look, you just have to be vulnerable about the thing that stresses you out the most, like a lot of people, like we probably talked to
that's why I have
almost 20 people.
I have way more respect though for the people who did eventually talk to us, because that is a vulnerable thing to talk about, and
Especially the first guy,
Yeah.
especially Max, because he was like, yeah, I just don't know.
yeah, and that's like really cool to be able to admit that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, that was badass. And then we also had our milestone.
That's facts. Yeah, we got our first female
Our
interview.
first girl.
I didn't realize we were that ugly, Like,
Yeah. No, there's I think a lot of girls are just hella shy, or just their instinct kicks in, and they're just
Like she was saying, yeah.
like, oh my god, like what do these guys want from me? What are they like? We're just two guys walking up to you and be like, hey, we don't know you, but we want to film you and interrogate you. Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
And most people are like, no, but yeah, I don't know, and say what you were saying about that last group and like how you approached them.
Oh, the
Before.
one with the girl.
Yeah,
or
the one where we interviewed the girl.
Yeah, so it's actually kind of funny because there was a couple girls in that group, and I thought that I knew one of them from one of my classes because they looked like identical, down to the necklace that they were wearing. It was crazy. So I approached the group in a very friendly way with a lot of familiarity. Like there seemed to be an undertone of yeah, I know these people already, and so I think I can probably credit a lot of the success of that approach just to the misunderstanding that I had of I already know this person.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny because I think otherwise my approach probably would have been different, and maybe we wouldn't have had that interview.
Right, because it would have felt more cold instead of you just going up there and just being like, hey.
Yeah, because
good to see you
I
again.
genuinely thought I already knew this person, but yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. No, I feel it. No, that was a good episode. I think we did a good job. And I also think we can at least for next time, try to build questions with the average person's insecurities in mind.
Yeah, I think so.
And to kind of pick at them a little bit, because we want to make people feel uncomfortable, but not so much to the point that they're like, hell no,
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I think so. And it'd be cool to see how like the way that we approach people evolves, and if we just get better at getting people to open up.
Yeah.
You know, across genders and across age groups, but particularly with girls, because I would like to have a little bit more representation of the female perspective for some of the questions that we ask.
Yeah.
Because it seems kind of easy to just go up to like a guy who's by himself. Like most of them are gonna kind of open up. It seems like
Yeah.
we've had the most success with just dudes who are just sitting there.
Yeah.
You know, so it'd be cool to also just have that kind of challenge to go after the ones that are more difficult.
Well, and I think we're gonna have a completely different perspective with girls too.
Right.
You know, girls are gonna be like much more emotional, and especially if we bring up some type of topic that they've had a personal experience with. You know, like we're just gonna get a different side of the people.
100%.
And that's what I would like to get.
100%. But yeah, I'm excited to see how like this continues and how we evolve as we continue just approaching people and interviewing strangers about these things. I already feel like personally, we talked about social skills a few episodes back. I personally feel like my social skills have been improving lately,
Yeah.
and that my general confidence in social interactions has gotten better.
Right.
Like I find myself just asking people like, you know, how you doing more than I used to. Like normally I wouldn't say anything, but now it's like I'll just walk by somebody with, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
And like that little thing is like it's a small improvement, but you know, it's really cool to see that.
Yeah, hell yeah. No, me too. I've been feeling like, especially since the last time we did it, I felt like for a couple of days after, I felt just like ultra comfortable
Yeah.
in public. Like I was just like, oh wow, like, and I think it's just because I know, I'm like, the more that we do this, the more I realize that I'm just the same person as everyone else. You know, like I just, like, you know, I have different goals and different ambitions and different life experience, but there's some weird change that happens when I see somebody and I'm like, I have no idea what they're like and no idea what this interaction is going to be like. And then I have an interaction with them and I'm like, they're just a normal person.
Yeah, to me, it kind of feels like just you're conquering the unknown. Like there's so much unknown behind a person, but then since we've been approaching so many people and talking to them, even the ones that, you know, reject us and they're like all weird about it, it still takes away that veil of just the unknown. And now there's something there. Right. So you have a little bit to contextualize behind their eyes, a little bit, even if only the interaction is like, no, there's something. Now you know, okay, maybe they're a little camera shy or maybe X, Y, and Z. So that has just made me feel a little bit more comfortable around strangers because I feel like I'm more familiar with what a stranger is. That makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly how I feel. I'm like, I understand like what a stranger is, you know, like the best part of the whole day today was when like we were walking down this path and there was these two girls and Nick was like, I got no chance at stopping them in their path and them agreeing to this, but I'm gonna do it anyways. And he just like is like, hey, like, how you doing? Or like, what's going on? I forgot exactly what you said.
Yeah, they gave me like this crazy like, what the fuck are you doing right now? And then I was like, listen, I know it's weird that I'm talking to you right now. Yeah, that was funny.
No, their eyes got like this big and they were just like so shook.
Yeah,
but
that was funny.
It's cool because like you get to see, you just get more acquainted with strangers.
Yeah.
And just what the normal person is, and that makes all people and all interactions so much less fearful.
100%.
So like that was just people.
They're just people.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I really like the increased amount of comfort that I'm feeling just with socializing, and I think it's only going to improve, which will free up, you know, the bandwidth that I really want out of social interactions and really allow me to free up myself, which is exactly what I want.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You have any closing thoughts?
Not really. I think I mentioned in the intro about, you know, being curious about how ambitious people were, and I think that like of the people that we interviewed, only one of them was like particularly ambitious.
Yeah.
The kid,
second kid?
Yeah, the second kid. He wanted to get into acting and whatnot, which I guess doesn't surprise me. Though of all the people we interviewed, there was, you know, it was kind of what I expected, like the level of what their goals and ambitions were.
I think it was interesting because we had 3 different like perspectives. Like Max was like very like vulnerable about just like, you know, like I just don't know yet.
He's figuring it out.
That's cool, and like I like that. And then I already forgot the second kid's name.
I don't.
I think it was Joseph. I think it was Joseph. I don't know.
I'm bad. We're bad with names.
Yeah,
you're
but
probably watching this. Forgive us.
Yeah, but the second kid we interviewed, he very much had like, oh, like this is what I want to do.
Right.
And like I'm making sacrifices and I have a why and I'm motivated and like a good understanding of the path that he was on.
Yeah.
And then the third girl was doing something like a little bit like not something that you see a lot of people do, which is try to get into film.
Right.
And like she also had that like I'm just on this path. And like I don't, like there was that moment where she was like, I don't have any friends. And you're like, I don't have any friends either, like,
Yeah.
And like she was just, I'm on this path. I have a direction, and I'm going there. And I think it's like it was just interesting to see the people that, like how different people looked at their goals and where they were going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then we have the last group that we interviewed, which may or may not be included in the actual episode, but. Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, we'll include some clips, but we met some clowns,
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's a wrap. Episode 21.
Yeah,
Let's get it.
solid, dude. Tweet, tweet.